Dairy, is it good for you? Is it bad for you? Should you stick with old-fashioned milks or switch to plant-based alternatives? Given how much milk we consume every year, which is around 90 liters per Australian per year of milk, it would be nice to understand this question in more detail, isn't it? My name is Dr. Olga Montvida. I am nutritionist, I am wellness coach, and I'm medical scientist. So let's get into it. Overall, potential benefits of consuming dairy outweigh potential risks. So there is no evidence on increased mortality. Neutral effect on cardiovascular diseases. Some studies suggest beneficial effect, meaning that consuming more dairy is reducing the risk of cardiovascular diseases. With diabetes, less consensus. However, general trend is that dairy is protective against diabetes. Potentially beneficial or neutral effect on inflammatory biomarkers. With cancer, here is already a bit more tricky. We need to understand which cancer we are talking about. For example, general trend it is potentially protective against colon cancer and potentially increases the risk of prostate cancer. And let us first recognize that dairy includes huge umbrella of products. When we say dairy, we usually think of cow's milk, but it also can come from goat, sheep, and even buffalo milk mozzarella. So obviously, the source of milk will affect nutritional profile. What this animal is eating, how much sunlight they are getting, what altitude they are living, even the season when the milk has been collected, it all will affect the nutritional profile of the final product. And the general rule, however, is consume small doses of dairy regularly to obtain all the benefits. Fermented products like kefir, cottage cheese, veg, yogurt generally are considered healthier because of probiotics that are beneficial for our gut health. However, of course, processing method is very important, and say we can have raw milk cheese, which is better for you compared to highly processed cheese that it is even never getting moldy. So you also want to check the label, especially for additives. General rule, the less ingredients are there, the better it is. The question we are answering here is whether you should consume dairy or not. And the answer is that nobody will know better than you. If you have lactose intolerance or dairy allergy, you probably already know it. If you want to confirm it, there are a number of tests, blood test for allergy, for example, and genetic test for lactose intolerance, which became, by the way, very popular these days. And I've heard a blogger saying an argument that you should stop consuming the milk because we humans are not originally designed to tolerate lactose in adulthood. And it seems to me this argument is completely invalid because yes, we were not designed to do so, but with domestication of dairy animals, people who developed this mutation, who were able to tolerate lactose in adulthood, they were more likely to survive. That is why we are having now this ability to tolerate lactose, because of selective advantage. So anyway, if you have CC type in this genetic test, it means that you are lactose intolerant and you should exclude dairy from your diet. If you have CT type or TE type, it means that you can already play around here. So the best thing to do is to consciously exclude dairy for 2 or 3 weeks and observe what happens with your body. Then start introducing it back to your diet and again observe how your body is reacting. Let's discuss hot topic, dairy consumption and acne. And the main argument you can hear is that Milk consumption increases IGF-1, IGF-1 increases testosterone. Here you go, disaster on your face. Let's have a closer look here. Yes, milk contains insulin-like growth factor hormone, and it enhances human production of IGF-1. However, IGF-1 has been associated with bone health, with muscle growth, with overall growth and development in younger population, and maintaining healthy physiological function in adult population. Yes, it works synergetically with testosterone, meaning IGF-1 is increasing, testosterone is increasing. Again, testosterone within the healthy limits range has been associated with muscle strength and density, bone density, cognitive function, mood improvement, sexual function, fat distribution and reduction. So it's not like IGF-1 and testosterone are bad hormones, but yes, they do induce sebum production that leads to formation of acne. And yes, there is general trend that dairy consumption is associated with acne risk. So if you have already hormonal imbalances like PCOS, IBS, or have acne, consider excluding dairy and observe what happens. What about other hormones and especially estrogens? There is a concern that at farms, cows are usually pregnant to collect more milk, which means that cow's milk will have higher estrogens levels. And in mice, they've conducted an experiment. They were giving to mice milk containing 100 times higher levels of estrogens compared to pregnant cow's milk. And there was no effect in the bloodstream estrogen levels. And this happens because we have this beautiful organ called liver that breaks down all these hormones and prevents them entering bloodstream. So current evidence suggests that the cow's estrogens are too low to pose any health concerns for humans. So when you're considering whether you should include dairy in your diet at all or not, of course you want to think about your individual circumstances and your diet in a holistic way. Say milk. Number one macro element in milk is carbohydrate, specifically sugar. Of course, that is why we like the taste of the milk. However, sugar in the milk is different to sugar in donuts, right? So it consists, lactose in the milk consists of 1 molecule of glucose, 1 molecule of galactose, which means it slows down the release of glucose in the bloodstream compared to sucrose. Also, sugar in milk is packed together with proteins and fats, which slows down the release of glucose in the bloodstream even more. Proteins in milk, mainly casein and also whey proteins, are great source. It contains all amino acids, highly digestible, high biological value. Fats in milk, often criticized for high level of saturated fats, and that is why guidelines are recommending to consume low-fat milk. However, this recommendation is highly debatable, and there is a debate in scientific argument to drop this recommendation, mainly because there is no evidence that saturated fats in milk are anyhow harmful to our cardiovascular health. Remember, in the beginning of the video, I told that there is no evidence that dairy is increasing the risk of cardiovascular diseases. So it comes down to specific saturated acids, and the milk is increasing both LDL and HDL, so ratio is still the same. And moreover, fats in milk help to absorb vitamins in milk, like vitamin A, vitamin D, which is often fortified, vitamin K2. Also, milk is a great source of vitamin B12, especially for vegetarians. It's also a great source of vitamin B2. And of course, as you know, it contains minerals like calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, and zinc. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. If you have questions, shoot me a message. If you needed meal plan tailored for your needs, or if you have cravings to certain products, let me know. I will fight for you as long as you are fighting for yourself, because your health matters and you deserve better.